Hey guys, Timothy Roberts here. In this video, we are going to do an unboxing of a cymbal that I just picked up online, and it was made by one of my favorite cymbal smiths, Craig Lortson. So lately I've been on a quest to find cymbals from other cymbal smiths that I really respect and look up to, so that I can have kind of a small catalog of other indie makers' work to refer to use as a point of inspiration. And I have a couple of Collingwoods, I have a Nicky Moon ride, and I've had other cymbals come through my hands over the years from various makers. And one of my favorite cymbal smiths is a guy named Craig Lortson. He lives in Australia, and I did a video, which I'll link below. I think this was early this year at some point, where I got a set of his hats, and I just did an analysis on the hats. I've talked to Craig a bunch, and we're working on a project where he's going to be making me a cymbal. But I was online the other day, and I found one of his 22s in a very interesting weight range, and it was at a great price, so I picked it up, and we're going to do an unboxing video right now. So let's jump into it. Craig, if I was to say like what Craig's vibe is, he definitely expresses on his website that he likes to make cymbals in the style of the old Turkish K factory. He's very inspired by Roberto Spitzkino as well. And he has an amazing website you should check out called Cymbal Utopia. And when I was getting started in the world of cymbal smithing, I went to this website a lot, or referred to this website a ton, and I got some great information that helped me start out. And it's not just beginner information, it's got a lot of like heavy hitting stuff in there. So, all right, we got this thing packed nicely. Let's pull it out. Sorry for all the coughing and grunting. It's early in the morning here in North Carolina. I'll do my best not to sound sleep deprived with two babies at home. All right. Here it is. So it is a 22-inch, and I might go grab a tailor's tape just to check what the exact dimension is, but it was labeled as a 22. It weighs 2,563 grams, which we'll talk about that weight. Looks like we got like a medium profile, bordering on medium tall, but not quite there. Looks like a modified pressed bell. Yeah, definitely a modified pressed bell. We've got some on the bottom. We have crust sticking through, or sticking out in between the lathe lines, so that's going to help maintain a little bit of dryness. And then on the top it's fully lathed, but it has this thing that I do a lot, and you know, maybe I've picked it up by osmosis just from seeing a bunch of Craig's work, but it looks to me like Craig does quite a bit of layering to his cymbals, and he actually does say this on the Cymbal Utopia site. He does quite a bit of layering where he'll hammer, lathe more, and do some other finishing processes on top. This to me creates a lot of dimension and actually can really help dry up a cymbal, kind of contain things, and give a nice complexity to the sound. So this has that for sure. It's got lathing after the initial shaping, and then back to hammering, and then some final lathing. It's got like a pin lathe pass on the bell and on the body. So very old K-esque. Now time for the first touch. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's sick. Yes. Okay. This cymbal rules. We'll talk about why in a second. First, I'll kind of flip the camera around so we can get like a player's perspective with the audio, and then we'll go from there and talk about it. Okay, so what I'm hearing when I listen to the cymbal, I hear a lot of good stuff. I hear, really the thing that drew me to this cymbal and the reason why I wanted to purchase it was the weight. I saw, Craig has said that he likes his cymbals between 2,300 and 2,500 grams. That's kind of his sweet spot for the cymbal, for the cymbal sounds he looks for, what he plays on his gigs. He's also a phenomenal jazz drummer and drummer in general. And this one being a little bit over that threshold, it's one of the heavier 22s. You just don't see this many heavier 22s from him on his YouTube channel. A lot of them are lower in weight. And I'm really getting into cymbals that are just slightly heavier. A lot of the indie guys make paper-thin cymbals. I make paper-thin cymbals. I have made a bunch of paper-thin cymbals. But when we start, a lot of us are coming from a drumming background. A lot of us are jazz drummers. And so when we get into making cymbals, we think, oh, paper-thin, that's what gives you that jazz sound. That's what gives you that, dark, smoky, complex, trashy thing. And in essence, that's true, but it leaves out a really important thing that needs to be thought about when you're looking for cymbals, which is the concept of drum set practice room cymbals versus gig cymbals. If we were to go back, if we could go back and play all of Tony's cymbals, all of Elvin's cymbals, all of Art Blakey's cymbals, we would be shocked how many heavy cymbals those guys played all the time. And we would be shocked how many of those cymbals that are on the famous recordings are heavy. Because we have a lot of things to think about. We have the recording technology of the day. We have the way that sound is translating. Are you listening to it through your phone, through some headphones, through studio monitors? All of the different avenues in which we listen to music or listen to a video, they are coloring the sound that we're hearing. And oftentimes we're hearing a sound that is propagating out a little bit. It's not just what we're hearing right on top of the kit. Obviously there's overhead mics that mic drum sets, and so we do get like a close miking situation with cymbals often. But there is all these avenues in which the sound has to travel to get to our ears. And so oftentimes guys will hear a sound on a recording and go, oh, I want that cymbal sound. And they'll come to an independent like myself or like Craig or like others, and they'll say, make me something like this. And there's always caveats, because the way that cymbal sounds on the recording is not how that cymbal's going to sound when you sit behind it. So this being a medium weight cymbal, it's got a nice good size cup, good size bell. It's got a nice curvature. I'm going to try my best to get it to line up so you can see it basically. Hopefully that's there. And what we have is, I mean, we definitely have a hook coming out near the edge, and it kind of levels off, but it still has this upwards trajectory to the bell, which I always talk about, super important for strength up here, so that you don't have this like kind of trampoline feel when you play up here. I was talking to a guy recently about his cymbal that he brought in for a mod, and it was like he just felt like the cymbal was super sluggish, and it was because up at the upper portion of the cymbal, it was really soft. You could just, you know, put it on the ground and press on it, and the whole thing would go whoop, whoop, whoop. And what happens with that, if it's not tight, it's like playing on a floor tom that's low tuned. It's like it's not going to give you a lot of rebound. It's going to kind of receive the stick in a way that kind of makes the cymbal sound thumpy, makes it sound sluggish. It also acts as a dampener to sustain. It's going to kind of kill resonance and sustain and kind of make the cymbal just sound dead and a little bit ugly. So this cymbal has a strong hook, and it has trajectory up to the bell. What I know, now this is getting into the fine details of this cymbal. This is just my take on it. Craig, if you're listening, please weigh in. But to me, when I play this cymbal, I do sense that there's a little bit of a give up near the bell, which allows for super strong stick definition out in the playing surface. And it also allows for the cymbal not to be too clangy and loud. So just a little bit of give in the upper portion can kind of help control sustain so that it's not too aggressive and kind of in your face. We all know the umbrella cymbals, or at least some of us know the umbrella cymbals that major companies have made that have big, tall shapes, and they're just so aggressive, so piercing and loud to the ear. They just hurt. They sound great on the recording, but they just hurt when you're playing behind them. I'm thinking of one cymbal in particular. If you can think of what it is, please drop a comment below and let me know what you think it is. I owned one of these cymbals at one point, big, tall umbrella. It's like a sought-after, discontinued cymbal, and it was just so aggressive and annoying to my ear. This cymbal has a similar shape, like medium tall, big hook, and it's not hurting my ears. I mean, I had earplugs in when I was just playing, but without the earplugs, golly, I mean, it's wonderful. It's a beautiful cymbal. It has a wonderful trashy shank sound because of where that hook is. You can just kind of side stick it shank it on the side of your stick there and get it to get this nice growl. But then your stick definition is not muddied. It's just clear and present and there. This is a perfect jazz gigging cymbal. You could play this at a cafe gig with good technique and have wonderful, low volume kind of thing going on. but then you could dig in, you know? You know, and that stick definition is staying on top. I'm playing this with what's close to an SD2. And if you guys know that stick, the SD2 is a stick that will make any cymbal kind of open up and growl at you really, really loud. If we go to a stick that has a more pointed bead to it, we got even more point and aggression. I mean, this cymbal could do it all. You could play this in a ton of different environments and it's going to do the job for you. Because of that tall shape and because of the weight, it's not going to be the most mushy-gushy, awesome player drum room cymbal, because you might want something that's lower pitch and a little bit more washy, a little bit more like lush in its sustain and wash and crash. This doesn't have much of that lushness because it's more leaning towards the aggressive side of like trash and kind of growl, but also tons of stick definition. And I'm giving you guys my honest reaction here. I didn't know what was gonna come. I mean, I had a video that Craig had made that was posted with the listing of the cymbal to kind of check out and get a somewhat of an understanding of what I was getting. But I wasn't, you know, you're never sure until you get to play it in person. And so I really picked it up mainly because of that weight. And I wanted to have an example of a Craig Lortzen cymbal, you know, knowing that he has such a refined taste, such a refined ear for really good cymbal sounds, and knowing that he likes to make cymbals that are thinner than this. The majority of the cymbals that I see on his YouTube channel are thinner than this. That kind of cues in to me, it goes, okay, well, he's going to take that sensibility and put that in a cymbal that's a little bit heavier, and so it's going to have these other characteristics that I'm looking for my gigs, and also just to use as a point of inspiration. Yeah, right on 22. Yeah, exactly 22 inches. So that's awesome. You know, this texture on the underside where it has a little bit of unlathed crust. I don't know if it's really going to show up through the video there. That texture is, you know, really great to help kind of dry it up a little bit more even. So I feel like this is a cymbal Bill Stewart would love. He would play this on his gigs all day. I know he plays cymbals that are between 24 and 2,700 grams for his 22s in the main position. This is like right on, I feel like, the Bill Stewart vibe. I think it's got it. If we use a stick that has a similar tip to what Bill uses, and we do a little funky grip, click grip kind of thing. I mean, that's the sound. Craig Lortzen knocked it out of the park with this one. So please drop a comment below. Let me know what you think of this cymbal. Is this the kind of cymbal that you would love to play on your gig? And keep an eye out for more videos. I post videos every week about cymbals mostly. Eventually I'm going to get around to doing more drum stuff. But all the inspiration, all of the mojo is just aimed right at this instrument right here. So thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe and hit the bell if you want notifications. Keep an eye out for the next video. I'm Timothy Roberts. Thank you for watching.